If it looks like I'm smiling, I am. Coming back into these halls brings back so many pleasant memories and so many cherished friendships. Most of these portraits I have served with, and it's an outstanding committee. I want to welcome the new member of Congress. And Madam Chair, if you're getting folks that are so experienced like your new member coming from Sandia, again, it's just an example of the reputation of the members of this committee to be a very well-experienced and very serious committee. We're going back to the moon in preparation to go to Mars. And space is hard. A lot of people focus in on the date about 2024. We're going back to the moon with humans in 2023. It's going to be following the first launch, which is at the end of this year, 2021, the largest, most powerful rocket ever, the SLS Space Launch System. We are then going to hitch up with whoever is the winner of all the competitions after the GAO makes its decision, and we are in a blackout period now until August the 4th, when the GAO is going to determine whether or not the bid protest is successful. All of this occurred before I was there, but I'm here to defend what NASA has done. But with regard to what's going forward, we're not going to know until August the 4th when the GAO decides. Pam Melroy, who I just swore in on Monday, now is with us as our deputy. Our number 3 in the agency is Bob Cabana, also an astronaut commander, as is Pam. He's long experienced in the administration in Johnson, then the head of Stennis, then the head of Kennedy, and well respected. And the three of us are already trying to make the plans so that when the GAO decides that we can move out quickly, depending on what the GAO decides as a legal matter. Now, that's just the human exploration. Look what's already happened. What American is not excited about perseverance and little ingenuity flying around all over the Mars surface? Again, a pinpoint landing. But remember, as the ranking member said, remember it was followed by only the second nation to be able to land a rover successfully. The Chinese government, the Chinese space program did that, and they have a very aggressive program, and we got to beware of that. They're putting a series of landers on the south pole of the moon. So are we. It's called the CLIPS program. The C stands for commercial. We're going to go down there to the South Pole. Why? Because there's water down there, and it's frozen. And when you have water, that means you've got oxygen and you've got fuel, hydrogen. So both of our nations are going down there. But the fact that they are planning this, just beware. Look at what's happening in the earth science and the planetary science. We just announced 5 great observatories that are going to go to Venus. We haven't been to Venus in 30 years. Why Venus? you think of it, the sun, the next planet is Mercury, it's hot. The next planet is Venus, and it's covered with a shroud of clouds. And that's caused it to heat up so much that it can melt lead on the surface. The next planet is Earth. It has a habitable atmosphere. The next planet is Mars, and it has a very thin atmosphere. Now, what is it about Mars and about Venus? Do they have the chemical compositions that they could have had life? Because after all, this universe has been developing for 13.5 billion years. And I'll conclude with this, Madam Chairman. Another part of our science, we're sending up in November this telescope. It's going out of French Guiana on an Ariane rocket. It's about a $9 billion telescope, and it is going to peer back to the light source 13.35 billion years. That's only 150 million years after the Big Bang, which is the beginning of the very cosmic systems. And we're going to be able to capture that light that has been traveling all those billions of years and find out things that we've never found out before. We found out a lot from Hubble, which is still up there trying to work. That's the excitement of what is going. And finally, Madam Chairman, earth science. In every one of your pockets is that cell phone, which I forgot to turn off, and it has a camera that we all use. That camera is on a chip, and that camera was developed by NASA to observe the Earth, to get the precision measurements because of what's happening to our planet. If you want to mitigate the climate, you got to measure it. And that's what NASA does. Thank you, Madam Chair.